The Ascent, directed by Pearry, Reginald, T.O., starring Robert Kazinsky, Peter Jason, and Florence Faivre. After a series of disturbing supernatural events in his home, Joel, a single father, comes to suspect that his young son may be possessed. I went into The Ascent with pretty low expectations. It's January, and typically horror films that come out in January don't have the best track record. But I have to say that I was pleasantly surprised by The Ascent. This was actually really entertaining, and it's not going to blow your mind, especially in terms of possession horror films. It follows the natural plot beats of a lot of other better films, but that doesn't take away from the fact that for an hour and a half, it was fun. It was entertaining. It's not anything groundbreaking, but it was a good time. I like the acting. It was a little over the top here and there and cheesy. The story is also really simple. It basically follows this single father and his son. The father has schizophrenia, and he's seeing random visions and hearing these really creepy sounds. His house is really creepy and dark, and his son seems like he might be possessed or he's passed on his schizophrenia. And that's a big part of the story, is the father's guilt about having schizophrenia and wanting to be there for his son and trying to retain custody of his son. We also get introduced to a priest who has just gotten out of prison for a failed exorcism years previously, and so he's back out of prison, and now he's about to go and perform another exorcism with his fellow priest. When his son begins to act like he's schizophrenic or maybe possessed, these priests show up with a doctor, and they then begin to perform an exorcism on the son. And a lot of what we see of the exorcism happening is through a keyhole, because the father's outside looking through the keyhole as everything's happening. And while I get the idea behind it and wanting to see it from the father's perspective, I would have liked to actually have been in the room and seen what's happening. I would have liked to have seen the practical effects of more of the demonic possession. It was something that I feel like was a missed opportunity. I did think that some of the practical effects having to do with the monsters and demons that show up in the film were pretty cool. I like the set designs, I like the overall tone of the film. It definitely has all the usual jump scares and plot beats of these kinds of horror films and other possession movies, and it's not going to be necessarily groundbreaking or blow your mind, and I didn't really find it very scary, but I did find it entertaining, and I think a big part of that is because of the cast, the setting, and I also have a natural affinity to indie horror films. So with all that said, I'm going to give The Ascent a low-end weekend rental. If you happen to see this on a lazy day on Amazon Prime or Netflix, check it out sometime. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for coming by, and I'll see you guys next time.